Life happens to all of us. We all go different paths and different careers and experiences. Everyone has a different story to tell at the dinner table, and no one story will be the same as another. And that goes for me too. Just going from my desire to join the military after high school, to majoring in chemistry for my undergraduate, and then my master's in environmental engineering, and then working at a cancer research center after graduating, which is like way different from what I graduated with, to eventually becoming an environmental engineer, working in compliance for the US Air Force, all within like 10 years. Being an environmental engineer has its ups and downs, but overall, it's made me a better person. And in this video, I want to share with you what I learned from all of it. This is just my experience on personal growth and development as I trekked through my journey towards environmental engineering. So the first reason why I think environmental engineering made me a better person is that I'm more considerate of other people. So I may look nice on camera, but I'm generally just like ignorant, nonchalant, or just not caring off camera. I tend to do my own business and just generally leave people to do their own things with their own life, and I think that's like a good thing because I don't want to interfere with other people. But ever since I became an environmental engineer, then I stopped to think about other people. Like, how could my actions or inactions affect other people? Maybe I should let them know that doing XYZ is good for them or good for the environment without sounding like too pushy or too annoying. I think maybe this is just my way of saying that even though I'm an introvert, I sometimes break out of my shell from time to time when it's the right thing to do. The second reason is that now I'm more aware of how current actions affect the future. So this ties a little bit with the previous point, going back to how I'm more considerate of other people. If I tell someone that doing XYZ is good for them, maybe they'll listen and start implementing that idea or action. So this could have like a butterfly effect into the future, and hopefully it'll just cause more good things to happen. But let's think about certain actions that I take. If I decide to drive my car to work, for example, how will that affect me and the environment and my thought process? Well, for one, I have to pay for gas. Then I have to stay awake while I'm driving to work, which could take an hour because I'm going through LA traffic. Then I might get all stressed from the stop and go traffic. And then once I get there, I have to decide where to park and how much to pay. It could range from $10 to $15 per day. So not only does that hurt my wallet, but it just increases my stress level and I just release a whole bunch of CO2 into the atmosphere. Or I could now just consider taking the train. So then now I just have to go to the train and then I wouldn't have to worry about traffic. But I do have to wake up a little bit earlier just to make sure that I arrive at the train station on time. And I have to stay alert and awake to make sure that I take the right exit. But then I might also have to worry about sitting next to a homeless person. Think about what if I don't have enough space to sit? What if the train is full? But still, all those benefits of sitting on a train far outweigh the negative impacts of driving a car to work going through LA traffic. So in the end, I decided to take a train to work. The third reason is that I'm better at planning. So engineers in general fix problems. That's the whole goal of engineering. Once they fix a problem, they want to be sure that that problem never happens again. So they have to devise a way and plan to make sure that problem doesn't happen for a long, long time. We generally tend to think things from the cradle to the grave. So what will happen once it starts and how will it end? Whether it be work-related or personal life, I plan everything now. And I get better at planning the more I do it. So for example, it's definitely helped my personal finances. Instead of living paycheck to paycheck or not having enough for retirement savings or buying things on an impulse, I plan now for the future. I see how I can better utilize my resources to make sure that my life isn't so difficult in the future. Next is that I embrace change and uncertainty. Everyone always says that they want change and that they can adapt, but can they really? Once they're put into that situation where it requires change, most of them will end up saying, yeah, but we've always done it this way, so why change now? I'm gonna be honest here, I wasn't so different. I'm a creature of habit. But as a true engineer, we just have to be prepared for random things to happen. That's what problem solvers and good planners do. Especially when it comes to environmental engineering, there's just so many bits and pieces of how humans and the climate interact with each other that we have to embrace the random uncertainty that's presented to us. Next is I deal with anxiety better and worry less. So this is more on a personal level. I worry a lot, and that's really just a byproduct of overthinking and overplanning. But with practice and just dealing with it a lot at work, I got better at it. I got better at dealing with anxiety and worrying. So let me just put it out there. A lot of the thoughts in your mind that you think might go wrong doesn't really happen. And I know it's always good to plan for things and prepare for the worst in case something ever does happen, but just know that whatever does happen is beyond your control. You've done all you could to plan for this. You have good backup plans, so why worry about it? That's where the backup plans come in handy, and that's what should save you. You've done your part. Just don't worry about it or think about it. Just take action when it's necessary. No amount of worrying will stop the event from happening. And lastly, I take full ownership of my mistakes. So this is just an overall good characteristic trait to have. Some people may find excuses to blame others for their mistakes, but I embrace it. I mean, you're only human, and it is better to fail with honor than to succeed as a fraud. Obviously, no one likes to get yelled at or get in trouble or fail at something. They're scared that doing so will get them fired, and that's a reasonable excuse. But then again, who at the beginning knew everything? Who can say that they've never messed up in their entire life, or that they knew everything going to the job? So watch the people look down at a learning experience. So long as you're willing to learn from your mistake, try to improve the process, and try to never make the same mistake ever again, then making mistakes and taking ownership to that mistake is a good thing to have. And so those are the reasons why I think working as an environmental engineer, or just working in this field in general, made me a better person. There are life lessons that aren't exclusive to just environmental engineering, and I'm sure everyone will be experiencing this as they progress through life. But I learned most of this while at my job as an environmental engineer. So that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below and I'll get to it. What life event made you a better person? And do you think a certain job can make you an even better one? Just let me know down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.